What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Thomas, and today we are looking at the Supreme Week 12 drop list for Spring Summer 2024, giving my predictions on what will resell, the flops, the hits, the misses, and everything in between. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Before we get started here on supremecommunity.com, you guys know the deal. Remember to hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I go live. I will be going live tomorrow, 30 minutes before the drop, for our weekly Supreme live stream where we talk about the drop, we strategize, potentially we go for a live cop, and I think this week we are definitely going for something, so be sure to get subscribed if you aren't already. Memberships available on the channel for those of you that want to support a little extra and get some extra perks. Okay, let's get into the full drop list. Real quick before we get started, some of the big drama this week was Supreme Drops putting the AOI Work Jacket as $288 on the drop list, when in reality it's actually $468. I thought I mentioned that because it's kind of funny, but yeah, this jacket is probably one of the most anticipated items of the week, and unfortunately, it's a lot more expensive than $288. But nevertheless, Supreme Drops, he's doing his best, trying to predict what stuff will cost. Sometimes he's just off, and that's okay, whatever. We get the drop list on Monday, guys. Let's at least appreciate that. Here it is in all of its glory. We got the Darwins, we got AOI embroidery, work jacket, AOI zip up. We still have this mock-up listed for this cell phone pewter flask and this champion bucket hat. Otherwise, it's a pretty run-of-the-mill week with some solid items, some low-key pieces, definitely nothing out of this world, insane town. Let's take a look at each item individually. First things first, probably the most hyped item this week is this AOI Work Jacket. I know a lot of you in the comments have been asking about this piece for a long time, and I remember being very excited about it as well. I love all the designs of this evil business, the Supreme 94 to 2094. We have embroidered eyes up here on the top, S94 on the shoulder. We have some Japanese onis, that's demons for those of you playing at home, and just some really awesome text on the back with a bunch of the Supreme stores minus Shanghai, because Shanghai was not created at the time of this shirt. I guess it was still in the works, which is interesting. Spider webs, American flag, it's super dope. I personally think the green one is a little bit cleaner. What do you guys think about the two colorways? I could definitely see a lot of people going for the black. That's just a typically cool color to go for, but I like the green a little bit more. $468. I think this will resell for maybe starting around $600. That's just a guesstimate though, and it could go as high as $700-800 depending on the quantity and how much people really want this piece. So I think if you want to resell something this week, you have the cheddar, or you just want a really cool item to keep for personal, this AOI Work Jacket should be on the top of your list. Moving right along, we got the Supreme Champion zip up hooded sweatshirt. Now this guy was at $138 for the initial partial drop list, and I like that price a little bit more than I do $158, but it's still a pretty nice jacket nonetheless. You have a lot of amazing colors, a nice Supreme arc spell out font right there, and it's just kind of a simple jacket. It's Supreme and Champion. Champion, I believe, last collaborated with Supreme in 2019. It's been quite a while, and they've renewed their contract to do more collabs like this one we're seeing right here. So I think this guy will probably sell out in bigger sizes, but not quite sure how this drop will do. I could also see it completely selling out, but not reselling for a ton, just because there are a ton of different colors. And then we got the mesh crusher to go along with the zip up hooded sweatshirt. Right here, I'm not the biggest fan of a mesh crusher. It reminds me of a basketball short turned into a hat. I don't know why, and there's something about this arc font on the top of the crusher that doesn't really look that great. I would rather have it if the angle was less wide and more straight across with the Champion logo, but you know, it's there if you want it. I'm sure it's going to be multiple different colors. I think it has the potential to sell out and maybe like purple and have a couple dollars of resale, but I don't think this guy is really gonna flip for a whole lot. Just kind of jumping around randomly, the next item is this guy, the gradient mesh back 5 panel. This guy is the graphic design is my passion type beat, the Microsoft PowerPoint extraordinaire in your 5th grade class, right? This is the hat that he would wear, but it's kind of all right. It's a trucker hat with the big Supreme spell out with a nice gradient font to it. It's interesting. I don't really know if I love the white design on it. I think it could have potential to sell out in maybe one of the colors, but I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. 48 bucks though isn't too bad, so cop it if you want it. Faux fur shorts are next. These guys are kind of wild. Fake fur is the new real fur, apparently, because no animals were harmed in the production of these shorts, which is pretty cool. Shout out to all the animal lovers out there. But yeah, these are kind of crazy, kind of a wild pair of shorts to be made by Supreme, and I think it's just a great piece. You know, these guys do have that kind of random potential to actually sell out and do super well. I could see these kind of having a special niche market, but I'm not quite sure. I would never go for these, but that's not a good metric on if something is good to cop or not. So for all the true fashion heads, what do you think about these faux fur shorts? Retail price $168. The cargo shorts are next. These guys are pretty decent. I wish they weren't $138, but you do have some nice military camo along with olive, black, and white. These guys definitely do match those military camp caps that came out a few weeks ago, which is kind of cool. But for me personally, I really just hate paying, you know, 98 bucks for shorts is tough for me. I'm more of like a sub 90 kind of guy for shorts, which if you ask any normal person in your everyday life that you only pay $80 or less for shorts, they'll tell you, you're fucking crazy, dude. I pay $20 for mine. So it's always like a thing of perspective, right? But these are cool. I don't think they're going to sell. Tri-coat track pants as well as the tracksuit is next. These guys are decent. I'm not a huge fan of just the super basic Supreme logo right there. And when it comes to tracksuits, guys, here's my opinion. Like, these colors are nice, but I think of a statement piece. I don't really think of a low-key, run-of-the-mill type of. I want something that screams like retro, vintage, and this just isn't that. That's not saying it's not good. You can definitely cop this if you like it, but for $158 for the top and $138 for the bottoms, it's just not really what I'm looking for in a tracksuit. All right, let's mix it up and get into some hype shit. This is my targeted item of the week, and it's that Nike SB Darwin Low. If you saw my video I did on Monday, we talked all about these Darwin Lows and the news postings on supreme.com. And these guys are actually less than we thought. We thought 120, and I thought that was great. These are actually 118, which is amazing. In a perfect world, I would actually go for a double up on these. I'm debating on it. I don't know if it's even possible to do that, but come drop day, I'm debating on single carding these volts, or maybe going for volts and then like maybe the Carolinas. I don't know, but I think these guys are going to do super well. It's 118 bucks for a shoe. Even if you single card it, I think 150 is like the bare minimum, right? For most sizes. I could be wrong. These could end up flopping, but if you look on StockX, guys, you look on eBay, look at dead stock Supreme and Nike collabs, they almost always do pretty well. And I think overwhelming the majority of people kind of like this sneaker. Of course, there's a vocal minority of people that say this shoe sucks, that it's mid. And while I admit it's a different type of shoe, that's what Supreme and Nike have done for so long. And it's why I love it. It's like, it's a new model that we get to experience for a lot of us. Like, I've never had a pair of Darwins. I've had a pair of Air Max 90s. Like, I'm glad Supreme isn't giving us just dunks every single year. That would get so old so fast. As much as people say they want that, I don't think they really do. So Darwin Lows, I'm liking the Volt pair a whole lot. The burner phone pewter flask. Still no official images of this guy as of now by the pewter company, but it is a cell phone that's not really a cell phone. It's actually a flask. So put your water in it, put your alcoholic beverages in it, whatever you want to do. Apparently it's 118 bucks, a little bit of a risky purchase in my opinion, but could be kind of cool. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen Supreme do a flask. Actually, one of the cleaner hats they've released in a while. Fauntleroy called this top guy the Train Conductor Special, which I think is pretty funny, but I do like this camp cap a whole lot. Like, Supreme camp caps have been kind of on point, low key for a little bit, and I think this one is definitely the best. I think this guy has good potential to sell out. It's a unique enough colorway with Supreme logos kind of scattered around, some stripey boys on there, looking like $48. Throw that guy on there, maybe with the sneakers. I don't know. This is what I was kind of thinking of, like getting the sneakers and then going for this guy, but maybe switching the category would be too risky. I don't really know, guys. What do you think about this denim camp cap? Now, this guy has potential to be sleeper item of the week. This is this AOI zip up hoodie. It's $200, brushback fleece, original artwork. I just don't know if people are digging this one as much as the work jacket. Certainly not as much as the work, but I think it's still pretty cool. I do like the sleeve designs. I love the hood embroidery. The Supreme tramp stamp though, I don't know, bro. That might be better up here at the top, right? At the back shoulder area. I think that would make this piece a little bit better. I think that's the only thing that's holding it back for me, and that you can really only see the embroidery on the black and kind of the green one. The white is totally chalked with, you can't even see that white embroidery. I don't know why they don't change the colors on it. It really baffles me when Supreme does stuff like this. It just doesn't look that great. All right, the bouquet short sleeve top. I like this guy. It's one of those Supreme heavier t-shirts. If you don't have one, you should definitely get one. They're a nice material to wear. Certainly nice to wear kind of all seasons too. But I do wish they had the kind of jersey size right there. Like most of the time when they have these heavier weight jerseys, they would have like the size in the bottom corner with like a little Supreme tag with like an L on it for large, S on it for small, etc. I do like this bouquet design. I'm not quite sure the best color to go for. Probably gray. This like puke green is nasty. Black is okay. I just wish they had like a light blue or like a green or like a purple or something. But maybe having these two neutral colors and then the one color is what they were going for. And $78 for that guy. That's pretty average for a Supreme jersey. You could actually see more. Sometimes they're 80, 90 bucks. All right, boys, last but not least, we have the printed hooded flannel shirt for 138 bucks in these colors. This guy is kind of decent. You guys know I'm not really a big flannel guy. It's just never really been a part of my wardrobe, but I do think this Supreme Old English font is pretty cool. I do wish it was maybe filled in with a contrasting color like white, maybe black, so you could read it a little bit better, but it is kind of low key, and this is kind of a nice button up hooded flannel, which is decent. More of a winter piece, to be honest. I think the best colorway is easily this like Neapolitan pink, light blue and brown, I think. Yeah, kind of a light pinkish, whitish. Definitely kind of a cool colorway right there. And maybe followed by this orange and blue one, and the black one's okay too, I guess. But yeah, 138 bucks, pretty decent. And that is the drop list for Supreme Week 12. What do you guys think overall? Apologies for my voice, guys. I'm still recovering from this cold. I feel like I'm losing my voice as the week goes on, but we soldier on. My overall thoughts of this week, there's definitely a lot of hype behind two items in particular. It's the AOI Work Jacket, that's $470, and the Nike SB Darwins for $120. I think a lot of people are going to go after the Darwins because they are more affordable, but I do think that AOI has the most potential to resell for the most profit. And we've seen it time and time again, guys. These higher end retail items end up having more potential. I think these exclusive Supreme items that are more expensive, like Kermit the Frog being like a $500 jacket, it's now $1,000. You know, it's the payoff for spending a little bit more money on the hyped item that actually ends up netting you a profit. So let me know what you guys are going for down below. I think this week is overall pretty decent. Some might call some of the items mid, but that's pretty much how it is every single week. I'm targeting the Nike SB Darwins, probably in Volt, maybe a second colorway if we're feeling crazy or if they even allow us to do it. But that's gonna do it for today, guys. It's been your boy Thomas, and I'm out. Peace.